Hello everyone, welcome back to Life Stories. My name is Trent, and as per usual, we are back at it again with more Entitled Parents. So without further ado, let's get started. Starting off with a story that sounds like an absolute doozy, our first story is, Entitled Dad says, "Hey, give my kid a loaded gun in this area full of people." So, some backstory. In my country, you need to be licensed to even shoot at a shooting range. And to get the license, you need to pass some sort of background check, do some extensive paperwork, and also attend a 1-hour class on firearm safety, range safety, the rules, and some other stuff about holding a gun correctly, etc. And also a range class where you shoot with the instructors to see if you may pose any danger to the other shooters. Also, we have some sort of necklace where we have to wear our license card, so other people can see. Our cast: ED is Entitled Dad, HK is Hyped Kid, RI is Range Instructor, CP is Club President, and of course, me. So here the story begins. I was at the shooting range training for the IPSC, International Precision Shooting Competition. Since I had a qualifier the next day, I passed the qualifier, and really didn't want to be bothered. After about an hour there, I go early since there's less people. A dad and a kid that should have been around 15 and looked really hyped to be around guns came up to me. I don't know if it was the guns I was using or the metal human-shaped target that I was shooting that made them come to me specifically. I was using a custom Saiga 12 automatic shotgun with forward grip, polymer stock, red dot, etc. And to someone unfamiliar with guns, it may look like a good AK-47. "Hey, nice gun you have there." "Yeah, it's great for competitions, and the red dot really helps with shooting slugs at small targets. Could you let my son shoot it?" "Well, your son isn't even old enough to have a license, and I wouldn't want to get a strike for giving a non-shooter a gun. If you give a non-shooter a gun after 2 or 3 strikes, you can have both your shooting license and your gun ownership license revoked." "Okay, can I borrow it since you're going to use your handgun now? I'm licensed." "I'm training right now, and I need both guns, but you can rent a gun just like this one at the van over there. But I don't want to have to walk all the way there and back." Note, it's maybe 25 meters away. "Dad, let's do it! I really want to shoot and also get the paperwork for my training license." The kid looked really serious about it, and was willing to spend hours of his life to get the training license, which allows him to shoot with supervision from instructors every now and then. He seemed legitimately interested in pursuing it as a sport. At this point, I'm starting to search ED for his license, and at that point I spot a visitor's pass. Basically, you can go to the range, but aren't allowed to use any guns. You can observe, take a class, or fill out paperwork. Sometimes CP will let you shoot so you can decide whether it's for you or not. "Sir, you're not allowed to use a firearm if you're not licensed to do so, and I'll get into serious trouble if I let you." "You can talk to CP over there, and he'll probably let you try a few shots." "No, it's nothing serious. We'll just fire a few shots and no harm will come from it." At that point, I had already waved to RI to come over, so maybe he could get him off my back and let me train. Well, the kid had already left and went to find CP to do things the right way. "Is there anything I can help with?" "Yeah, this person here would like to shoot a gun, so maybe you can take him to CP to sort some things out and see what he can do?" I always want to see more people into the hobby, so I genuinely wanted both of them to have fun. Sure. They walked to CP, and under his supervision, let them shoot a few rounds with a 9mm, and gave them the paperwork, and told them that if they want to get licensed, to fill it out and come back with a copy of their record. After that, the dad came back to me. "Okay, so I talked to CP, and as you can see, he let us shoot, so can we shoot your gun now?" No, I told you I'm not legally allowed to do that." "Dad, just drop it. We can come back in a couple weeks when we've signed up." "Why would you have to make such a fuss about it? Just let us shoot 5 rounds. "Please, let me go back to my training. I have an important competition tomorrow, and as I said, there's nothing I can do." RI was now shouting for all to hear. "Guns down! Clear and place the flags in the chambers. You can go change targets, otherwise just wait for the go-ahead to resume shooting." I unloaded both guns and put the flag in the receivers and went to check my groupings up close, and when I turned back, I saw ED touching the gun. Probably because it looked cool, I guess. It couldn't fire with the flag in it no matter what he did, but now I was ticked. So I shouted at both RI and CP to look at him, and they asked him to leave immediately and that he would not be allowed back at the range without doing all the necessary steps. For some reason, many people come across completely stupid around guns, and I have some more stories if you want me to share. Ooh, yes, please do. Anyway, I can relate to this story pretty deeply. As a pretty good shot myself, I have one whole kill and a can of Dr. Pepper to my name. Moving on to our next story, it is titled, Nephew Can Do Whatever He Wants Because He's the Baby. This is a very old story. I guess you could say my own mother is the entitled parent here, but not because of me. My nephew was born 3 months before my 5th birthday to a teen mom, my eldest sister. So, needless to say, we grew up more like siblings than aunt and nephew. When I turned 9, my sister had finally moved out on her own, and in turn, we moved to a town 30 minutes south of where we grew up. I finally got to have my own room with all my toys, and everything just how I liked it. This story happened when I was 10. I'm 35 with children of my own now. I had just gotten yelled at by my father to clean my room because it was a disaster. My nephew visited almost every weekend because my sister would call up and say, "Grandma, your baby wants to spend the weekend with you." Of course, being the only grandchild, locally at the time, and my mom's baby, she'd let him stay over anytime he wanted to. It was just as much him as it was my younger sister wanting to go out and have fun with her live-in boyfriend at the time. Every time he came over, he'd play in my room, pull out all my toys, destroy my room, and never had to clean it up before he left. Well, after getting yelled at for a messy room and threatened to be grounded, I made my room immaculate, spotless, organized. Well, here comes the baby. Of course, this isn't the first time this has happened this way. Cleaned my room only for my nephew to come over and obliterate it, rinse and repeat. I decided I had enough, so after my sister comes in, exchanges pleasantries with my family, and dips out, my mom decides to go to her room for whatever reason, and I think my dad has already left for the day. So, here I am, alone in the room with my nephew, and he starts to beeline for my room. I tell him, "Nope, you're not going in my room this weekend, stay out." We fight, I hold the door handle shut from the outside of the room, dumb mistake, and then he runs off towards the living room. He grabs this heavy yellow little Tykes plastic chair, the one that's got the big tubular legs but is hollow, made of hard plastic, and he hurls it at me. Before I get a chance to grab his little butt, he runs into the kitchen, and as I'm nearing the corner, he comes running around the kitchen with my mom's kitchen scissors and chases me down the hallway. I bolted into my mom's room screaming, which causes the little crap to go and quickly put the scissors away like nothing happened. So, of course, my mom didn't see any of this, so the little crap literally gets away with attempted murder. My mom calms me down and asks what's going on. I tell her everything. I say, "Mom, I don't want him in my bedroom this weekend. He messes it up and no one makes him clean it, but Dad yells at me when it's a mess because he made the mess, and I end up having to clean it or I get in trouble." Did my mom make my nephew take a timeout? Nope. Did she scold him for playing with scissors or trying to hurt me? Nope. But he's the baby and he just wants to play. You'll let him play in your room. And that was it. Even to this day, my mom and my sister dismiss it as him being the baby, and therefore he was entitled to do whatever he wanted, including trying to kill me with scissors. I joke about it now, but good God, never met a more entitled child as my nephew, and that's just one story of many. My sister and mother just boundary stomped me as a kid when it came to my nephew, but I loved that little crap anyways. Now, with my own children, I never forced one sibling to submit to the other, and I never allowed my children to boundary stomp other kids at school or at playdates. They knew respect, and if a kid doesn't want you touching their things or going into their space, my kids knew to respect that. Yes, I've had Karens out in the wild try to allow their kids to do this to my own, but I shut them down. Some people, man. Getting trained at a young age to deal with Karens? I like it. And with that, we've got just enough time for one more small story, so the next one we'll be reading is Karen called me fat and lazy because I wouldn't shovel around her car. This is my first Karen encounter and post, so hope you like. So, I live in Canada, and we just got hit with a ton of snow, and my mom's car was so covered in snow, it looked like a snowbank. My mom and I went out to shovel. I shoveled our walkway and patio, and my mom shoveled mostly around the car. After I finished the patio and walkway, I went out to help her. We got a lot done on the one side only, and my mom went inside for a glass of water, so I decided to keep going. After a bit more shoveling, I decided to clean up a little pile of snow that got bunched up behind a senior's car. Enter Karen. "Can you shovel around my car? I'll give you $3. Sorry, but I'm pretty tired and I still have the other side of my mom's car to do, so I don't think I'll have the energy to do your car. I still need to finish mine." "Why not? It's money." "Sorry, I can't." "But you're doing their car. Why can't you do mine, you lazy pig?" "I'm doing theirs because I got some of my leftovers behind theirs and I'm cleaning it up. And now I'm not doing yours because of what you just called me." "Do my car right now, young man. Hasn't your mom ever taught you manners?" "Yes, she has. You're just being really rude. Go do your own car." "Fine. You're fat anyway, you teenage scum." Luckily, my mom comes back in time to see some of this and yells at the Karen and tells her off. Good riddance. After that, we finish the car, and as we head in, the Karen gives me a dirty look while starting to shovel her car. Karma. And that's about all the time we have for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to Life Stories. Again, please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, because many more are to come. And I want to thank the people in the comments for the feedback. I'm trying my best to do better, because I know taking up the mantle over the last narrator is something that some of you may not have been happy about. But I hope that going forward, I'll be able to provide the same level of entertainment that they were. So please bear with me, and thank you. You guys have a great day.